All right, we're back. Episode 32 of the GPOD. Nick and I are back reunited in Florida
Finally.
after a month. And today we're going to be talking about Nick's experience in China, his entire trip in Shenzhen, going to Hong Kong as well at the beginning and end of his trip, and the entirety of CKO, the China Kendama Open that was hosted. Nick actually went to China for, and his main takeaways from that event, the results, the competition in general, and his main takeaways from his whole trip. So Nick, I just want to ask you, first of all, what even transpired to get you out to the CKO? Because there were some obstacles and some unknown events that we were not expecting.
Yeah, it honestly all happened very accordingly. We were both supposed to go home, right? Middle of August after Hong Kong. We did our Taiwan event, went to Hong Kong to visit, and then we were supposed to go to Japan and then go home. But typhoon came and made that all impossible for us, got delayed. And then we were just like, okay, let's just go home. I stayed another couple weeks in Japan, go home September 3rd. But then I got to Japan, and then I got invited to CKO. And I thought, yeah, I haven't been in 5 years, and I want to go and represent the U.S. because last time I went, of course, it was really fun, but I wasn't able to actually participate in the competition. So I thought this time, they obviously were going to let me, and then I also, we made something happen, so I hosted a workshop out there as well after the event ended, so we worked some things out with that, and then, I was able to go. And so I actually just ended up coming back from Asia on September 29th, so I literally just got back here last night in Florida, so still getting everything together. But I was able to go to China for a whole week, China and Hong Kong for a whole entire week, and after getting invited, I was really, really excited to not only see the Hong Kong Chinese players again, but I was also looking forward to see some Japanese players because I heard rumors of Kaide from Kendama going, and Ryoga and Maharu from Lotus. And then Tomonari he actually moved back to Japan now. He studies in Japan now, but he was living in Hong Kong most of his life. He's Japanese, but anyway, I was excited to see some more other countries represent at this competition, so I was getting pretty hyped to go and support my Lotus teammates. And then I think a little over a week before the competition started, I found out Ryoga and Maharu actually couldn't come, and then also Kaide couldn't come. Literally no Japanese players came except for Tomonari. And I thought, dang, well, I got to kick it into gear. I honestly was going with a different mindset for this competition, really going to support my two teammates. But this time I was thinking, okay, nobody's coming. I'm got to ramp up the practice. So from that day on, for a week preparing, I practiced for about an hour a day, maybe a little more.
Just a week out.
Just a week out, yeah. Just from making my prelims to my final to practicing them to executing. Yeah, just a week. And from the date I left Hong Kong, so realistically maybe 8-9 days until the actual competition. But yeah, I decided, okay, well, someone has to grab the W. And I really was like, okay, well, if I'm not going there to support Maharu, Ryoga, or my teammates, I'm going to try to do my best to win it myself. And so I did, and I didn't want to, and my mindset going into this was, I only have a week to practice. I don't want to jump too high because I know myself. I don't have enough time to get good and consistent enough at these tricks for a good final run.
When you say good final run, what do you mean by that?
For a winning run, meaning if you look at the past KDBC, I mean, we're talking high, 1,000, 400, 500, 600 plus. We're going and relatively to KDBC as well. CKO actually is, I think in my opinion, a little bit easier. I just don't think a lot of people practiced as much for it as they did for KDBC. And it's a little easier for a couple of reasons. So there was only levels 1 through 10. And obviously the tricks are all on YouTube. You can go to the China Kendama Open YouTube to see the scale of them. But also they have a really unique rule. They don't have backups in prelims, but they have a unique rule in finals. So you have to do all your tricks in order, but you can skip a trick and then just do it at the end. So you really can change your order, but you just have to do it in that way. So it's a little more lenient and not as strict, but I think that's a little more fun for the players out there. They're obviously not a lot of super, super top players out there. A lot of people are really good, but not super top. So it's a little more fun in that way. So I just said, okay, prelims, I'm just going to go with 90. And final run, this is a good final run for me with my practice and preparation, I'm going to go for 1,400. That's including bonus. It's all the rules are the same for KWC pretty much. Just bonus points, full marks.
And so before we go into that, what style of competition is CKO? What competition styles is be allowed to open? What are they really doing over there?
Yeah, so for CKO this year, there were two competitions. Main one being the KWC section. It's like I was just explaining. Almost every single rule is similar to KWC, except they choose their own tricks. Have a little spin-off rule here and there, but that's the main one. That's the big one on day 2. And day 1 is freestyle. So it's just a regular freestyle competition, 3 judges, and 2 45-second rounds, just like we're all used to. They also did it like NACO. So everybody got their prelim round in the same day. I think there was about 60 something players doing prelims, so it took a couple hours, but yeah, I ended up going close to last. Me and Tomonari went right after each other. I thought that was pretty funny. I had a feeling I'd play him in the finals the next day anyway, or at some point. We'll get to that in a second, but yeah, those were pretty much the 2 competitions. In the past, it's been last time I went, it was freestyle and doubles freestyle and Ken game open like at the same time. A lot of just kind of mini games, if you'd say, but now it's more like legit KWC style freestyle.
Yeah, it seems like it's a much more serious event. I mean, the tricks for the CKO are levels 1 through 10. They release the tricks in advance, like KWC levels 1 through 10 tricks in each level, and it was really cool to see them do that this year. I know they did it last year too, but to see like the levels of tricks and actually top players submitting tricks to be in the CKO list, like Takia, yourself, a couple other players as well, to actually submit tricks and be part of that list. I think it's a sign of a level up for that competition. There's more international involvement, even if all the international players can't come or aren't going to that event. The involvement in helping that event out is definitely higher.
They've been asking me to send them tricks for a couple of years. I'm always really happy to volunteer and just send them a trick for the list. It's an easy way to get international representation, as you said. And did you film it this year? I forget.
No.
No, okay. That was for something else. But yeah, we were both filming it one day. I submitted a couple. My trick this year was airplane 1 to 5, late triple inward chem flip, toss in, insta juggle, inward juggle, spike. I think I was the only one to do it no one did it in finals. It's a difficult trick, but
sure.
I did it in prelims. I saw it. Oh wait, no, my bad. Tomonari did it as well. He laced it in prelims as well. So I thought that was really cool because I'm usually, unfortunately, not someone to have submit a trick that a lot of people do. I always think it's good for me, but not everybody else. So I was happy to see Tomonari do it. He was really shooting high for prelims. Unfortunately, I think he missed one, but we had prelims on the first day. So before freestyle, and 3 groups. So just 8 groups, A, B, C. I was group B, and I had a couple partners.
You're in group C?
No, I was group A. I think it was just random.
Interesting. Yeah, they usually do the
because Tomonari was great. Yeah, he was group A.
Oh, interesting.
So, yeah.
Okay, so totally random.
Yeah, it was super random.
Yeah.
Yeah. So was Ching Young. So yeah, super random. But. Yeah, evidently, I mean, this is a new stadium, a new event place for them. It was at a new, I don't even remember the name, it was just this big red building with a couple different, it was actually huge. In my opinion, there was 2 different competition rooms. You had to walk a couple minutes to get to each other. I thought it was really interesting. It was just unfortunate that the weather was just a little bad, so we had to walk through a little bit of rain. But other than that, I thought it was, I know not a lot of people have been to CKO, but from my experience past year, 5 years ago, that venue to now, I think it's an upgrade. So I think they're making upgrades.
Can you set the stage for us real quick? What type of venue, how many people were there? Where were you guys competing?
Yeah. So we were in Shenzhen. That's from the Hong Kong border. It's about an hour by train. It took me about an hour to get there by train, coming up from underneath. And so there was it's a little tough. I know there was definitely over 100 people there. I'd probably say in total that came both days, 150 including staff, everybody that helped out, probably 200. It was looking like that. Yeah, no, it was, I'm talking, I mean, for sure more people on the first day. But if we're talking total, at least, they had a lot of volunteers, a lot of people helping. You could tell that people put a lot of work into it. So, I mean, you've got one of the people on CKO, the team running it is the owner of Honrui. So yeah, it's got to be something pretty special. But anyway, so about 150, 200 people there, and we are walking into this big red stadium, this building that hosts a ton of different events, and it's like a mall, but they have a couple of different event spaces for some stuff like this, like auditoriums and stuff like that. To be honest, the freestyle room and the main stage, it kind of, when everybody was sat down and just started watching, it looked like a little bit of a classroom at a university. I think people were kind of laughing about that, but it had a really good lighting, so I didn't really care. They
Like
had
a lecture hall?
Yeah, definitely, like
Yeah.
a lecture hall, just like just like full of students, but it was great lighting, so I didn't really mind. And the other room was just across the way for only KDBC prelims. We went all there, and they had the squares and everything. It was pretty small, but we ended up getting it done. They had the big timer on the big screen, so yeah, it was pretty similar to KDBC in that sense. But and for me, I think some people like the venue of the past years, but the lighting was better this year. So that's just a huge thing for me when it comes to events. And also, I really like that they had a stage as well. They had a really good stage. They had a nice timer in the background right behind you, super easy to see, just like KDBC again. It was on a big screen. Well, KDBC has the G-Shock in the side, but pretty close. And I thought it was really, really cool. I mean, it was definitely like a school a little bit, but I think people had an epic time. It was really, really great. A lot of representation, from Hong Kong players and Chinese players. I was really glad to become closer with a lot of them on this trip as well, because we made a good connection with them when we both went. But
yeah. And so the representation of that comp, you mentioned Hong Kong, China, obviously, Macau, which is a country near Hong Kong and China. What other kind of representation besides those nations in Japan were there? Were there any, or not really?
Yeah, well, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it was just me, America.
Well, Denmark.
Marcus Lander from Denmark. Yep. Dang, almost messed that up. But Marcus Lander was there, yeah, of course, from Lotus, representing Denmark. And a lot of people from China, a lot of people from Hong Kong, of course. It's super, super, super close. I mean, literally Hong Kong to Shenzhen is you can literally walk there. You don't have to take a bus. You don't have to take a plane. You can just take transit, like train, bus, and just go. Super easy. That's what I did. I don't want to say there was 0 players from Taiwan, but I asked Ching Yang. I don't think there was any notable players from Taiwan there. There could have been, but I think it was seriously just like China, Hong Kong, me, U.S., Marcus from Denmark, and then Japan, Tomonari, Kota from Gloken. A couple others from Japan came actually. One random person I didn't know really, and then this JK guy who's been in the game for a while, Akira.
Yeah, Akira. Yeah, I know.
What's his last name?
Toyama.
Toji.
Is that the Dragon Ball Z author?
No. But honestly, they're kind of similar names,
Okay.
but I forget his last name. Anyway,
It's
he was
not
there.
the one I just said. Yeah, that's Toriyama's the Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. But anyway, so I'm looking at that. I'm looking at the finalists. There's 32 finalists, so I'm not gonna lie. The point discrepancy is pretty big because, like I said, it's not super top level, and I don't think people practice as much as people usually do for KDBC, so they're not going as hard. But for example, like I had the highest prelim at 90.
Okay. You got 90 flat.
90 flat. Yeah, I just did 90, and then Tomonari was going for like 95, but he missed.
Dang.
I should feel really bad. He missed like a super easy trick for him, and he kept missing such easy spikes.
What was it?
It was literally just 1 tap, juggle 2 tap, juggle 3 tap, juggle light out since it's a down spike, and you think he'd get that. He would literally, I was watching him, he'd literally get a down spike, money. I'd be like, oh, let's go, game time, and then he'd miss. And I'm just like, what is he doing?
Yeah.
But it just happens, sometimes he was nervous. He told me that later, but he still got second best prelim.
Yeah.
So
what did he get? Like 89?
85. He missed 110.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm surprised about that guy is because Tomonari's like a tab beast. He's a
so
tab
good at tab.
beast. He's just a really good Kendama player.
Man, he was insane. He did 10 tap jug like Ken jug 10 tap in front of me.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
He didn't spike yet, I don't think, but
oh my
he
God.
did something crazy like that. Yeah, he was going nuts. So, yeah, it was crazy to see that in person. It was so cool. But
someone who's not Ryoga or Taki.
yeah,
right?
exactly. I was like, dang, this guy is so good. The first time I ever really talked to Tomonari too, that event. It was cool to connect with him and his dad.
Yeah, super tall. kid.
Yeah, I thought he was a lot older, but he's actually just 15.
Yeah.
He's super young, and he gets a lot of potential. I'm definitely rooting for him in the future. He's only 15, so
Yeah.
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 So
prelims, day one. What was like the lowest score?
Oh,
you got
right,
into the
yeah.
finals? So you got 90.
So I got 90. Maybe Tomonar got 85. Qingyang got 83 or maybe 79. I don't something in the 80s, low 80s. And then last place was this person named Kevin from Macau, representing Macau in the finals. I think he got something like 60, 59, 58.
Yeah.
Because I know Jasper got 59 and he made it. This little kid that we've been hanging out with, glasses.
Yeah.
So obviously there's a huge discrepancy between points, but I think it was really cool because a lot of these players like Jasper, Kevin, a lot of these other players who scored below 70 or something, they get a chance to become on the stage and represent their country on the finals of CKO. So I think it's a pretty special moment for them and just get some good practice for KDBC in the future because it's really close. They're probably going to go in the future, So, unlike KDBC, it's not just up till 90 and you're done. For people who make it, you can get like 58.
Yeah.
Still qualify for CKO.
Yeah.
So it was really fun. It was really fun to see my friends go up who, are still in that advanced stage.
Definitely.
Intermediate advanced, yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, it's cool that opportunity, right? That opportunity of competing on stage, doing a KWC style competition, but actually being up on the stage and giving that opportunity to players who aren't in the top 1%, who aren't, and who, KWC, you have to get a 90, the cutoff was 90 this year. That's like the last person in CKO getting a 90-point prelim, and everyone's higher, or at least the same. So it's to give that opportunity and to actually be able to go up on stage, even if you're not at that level yet. I think it's a really cool experience because it is a really unique experience, and I think later on we'll talk about how memorable of a run Kevin had, coming in last place in the prelims and actually having a banger
he did
final
really
run,
well.
really cool, exciting final run.
He did
So that's awesome that this competition even exists because although it's not the highest level, I mean it's kind of. I think it's a great opportunity for people to get more experience, and I think it's more encouraging for other styles of competition to have the KWC format, even though it's not KWC itself, held in different continents like Europe or North America, to have that style of competition because I know other people want to actually give it a go. I think that's really unique and cool about CKO. But okay, so so day one all was KWC prelims
and freestyle. We did all freestyle.
All freestyle.
Yeah, like the prelim freestyle and the finals.
Okay, so let's talk about freestyle.
Yep.
Freestyle classic. Your one-on-one tournament. How many people entered that? Was it just chosen?
No. It was just like I mentioned just a second ago. It was just like NACO prelims. So like everyone, like 60, like a little over 60 people went. Maybe 60 something, maybe 70 at max, but between 60 and 70 people went, and they scored prelims based on X amount of categories. I forget now, but it was on 3 categories. I think so we all did it first. I ended up qualifying first. I just played it safe and just did a couple easy tricks in my run, and it worked out well. And then we literally picked like from the seeds. It didn't even matter like how you finished in the prelims because you just picked out of a random like hat.
That's kind of exciting.
Yeah. I was just like, dang, like I could pull Tomonari first round or something, but I didn't, and he was on the other side. So I was like, sick. But yeah, so I pulled just this person I didn't know. We met that day. We were actually in the same KDBC prelim group, which was pretty funny. So we faced each other first. I ended up winning that. And then I see my other friends go. Qingyang wins, Tomonari wins, PC wins. Actually, PC, another special player from Hong Kong.
Yeah,
he's really creative. His play style is amazing. His Instagram is tough to remember. I think it's PC0910.
Something like that.
Something like that. We're following him, so if you just go to following, type in PC, he'll come up. But super creative player. He's been playing for a long time. And he came to the Taiwan Kendama Intensive. So he's
also been to a couple KWCs in the past in person, like 2019, 2018, I think. So
right.
Pretty huge.
So he's been in the game for a while, going to competitions, and I played him second round. I was like, okay, PC's pretty good. Like I have to do good as well this time, and fortunately, I was able to get the edge and win that battle. Next up,
Did he do any
he did some
crazy tricks? Because he's
got
so many tricks.
He's got so many tricks in his bag. Yeah. But I think he he did pretty decent his first round, but the second round I think he just kind of ended up missing a lot of stuff.
Oh, okay.
He did it. He's really good at the blow lunar and stuff. So he was doing that. I was like, dang. But he had some good crazy stuff, but he just couldn't end up spiking at the end. So it was a little tough.
Totally.
But
Totally.
he did well there. And then next round there's 4 matches going to finals, like top 8, 16, 8, 4, 2. Just top 16 classic.
Yeah.
I played Marcus in the semifinals, Marcus Lander from Lotus, and it was really cool to see my teammate up there just going. I was going at it, and it was a good match. I was happy to win. I was happy to win it to go to finals because I knew the entire day I was like, I'm definitely going to play Tomonari in freestyle. And then, of course, we did in the finals. Of course, Tomonari got to the finals.
Yeah. Was it pretty smooth sailing to the finals, or did any of those matches? I mean, you mentioned the first round,
I'd say
second round was KPC's first round was pretty.
It was pretty good. I'd honestly say mine. It was. Well, looking back, pretty smooth sailing. I didn't have one bad round. I think I just had pretty consistent ones. I obviously got better as I kept going, but I'd say even my first rounds were pretty solid. I knew I didn't have to go super crazy to win against the first person, or I had to save tricks for semis and finals anyway. So I was just doing a lot of stuff I knew I could do, and then I just ended up spiking a lot more, hitting tricks a lot more, getting more combos. So wasn't really putting too much pressure on myself. I did end up missing the first trick of a lot of my starts a lot though. I would always just try a trick, miss, and then get it and go off after that. But I was thinking, why did I always miss?
So you missed the first spike.
I would always miss 3, 2, 1, go, and I'd always try a trick and I'd miss it. I'd be like, It usually doesn't happen for me. I usually try to hit my first trick pretty well, and I was missing them. I was like, oh, okay, weird. But other than that, it was fine. It was pretty smooth sailing to the finals. Played Tomonari. He was pretty smooth sailing to the finals as well. I think he had one round where he didn't really do that well, but he was still playing somebody maybe a lot less skilled than him, so he still won. Mm-hmm. But and then we met in the finals, and it was honestly a great match. You guys should check out, if you have Instagram and follow China Kendama Open, they have our match, Tomonari and I's match on there.
Link in the description.
Yeah, and it was actually really, really fun. I thought we hyped up the crowd a lot, and it was just really, really enjoyable to watch. I was happy to put on a show because sometimes in finals things don't go your way, and you actually start doing a lot worse than you were in previous ones. I'm sure that's happened to a lot of people, but
definitely has happened to me multiple times.
Definitely me too. So I walked up there. I went first, and I set a pretty good run, and then of course Tomonari. Sometimes when I go first and I do good, I'm just thinking, okay, now it's in their head. Now there's a little more pressure. If you go first and do bad, okay, they feel like, okay, it's super easy. But if you go first and do good, it's like, oh, you set this pressure. So I thought I was able to do pretty decent the first round. I was like, okay, let's go. And Tomonari comes back with a pretty solid first round as well. So I was just thinking, he doesn't really budge here. He's kind of in his stride. Second round, I do even better. I thought, I got some enders.
In the second
I thought I had some pretty good,
sick.
I had some pretty good variety.
It's the juggles. What I really like about your freestyles is that you're so good at one, juggle to cancel the spike. I think you always hit that. You always hit juggles to cancel the spike. It's all the time, and then you really get it flowing between juggle spikes, jug down spike, and you'll do a combo, and it's usually an insta. And then you go in, you insta out, and you always end it with a fast hand. I feel like that's a signature move, and I know I just said a lot of tricks there, but it's a lot of combos, easy juggles to spike, but then you end it with some flair, and it's so cool, and you ended it with a buzzer beater of a fast hand. But he did too on his second round.
When he was doing that, when he did, oh man, because he did literally almost did the same exact ender as me for my second. Yeah, I was down fast or something, and then juggle stuff fast here, and then I was like, okay.
Yeah,
that's got to be it. I was like, that's my W.
Oh, 100%. I thought you won.
I was like, Tomonari, no way. He's going to come back. No way he's going to get, in the zone after that. He just saw what I did. I'm walking past him, he has a straight face. He's I'm just thinking, yeah, he's phased. I got him. And then, he opens up his round. He, starts skipping over the Kendama,
I saw that.
And I was like, okay, what's he doing? Then he, misses a couple times. Doesn't really matter because he's just juggle, spike. And then from there, it was just chaos. I mean, he literally
turned it on.
He literally tapped into best freestyle round of my life. I quote him, yeah, best freestyle of my life. I was in the zone. I don't know what happened. And I was just like, dang, of course you'd activate that on me. I feel like I've had people say that to me a lot.
You bring out the best in people.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, I just have my best round of my life. I play so well. I'm just like, thanks. Like,
Because
so stoked to have that
to happen against you. So, well, it was honestly a really, really close match. And I watched it this morning, and I honestly was like, okay, you can make the argument that either of you won. Really,
Yeah.
honestly, I mean,
For sure.
in my opinion, and I guess I'm a little biased, and I guess what I'm looking at is diversity. He had more of the same tricks, but you
Yeah,
had more
definitely.
diverse tricks, and you
Yeah.
actually were hitting a lot. So I was like, okay, and Nick probably edged him out there, but yeah,
Yeah,
Tominari
yeah.
won, and dude just threw a 10 tap in line. Dude has one of the
Yeah.
cleanest tap forms
It was so
ever.
crazy.
And it was so crazy because he just yeah, it's like Nick said, he missed a couple times, jugged the spike, flipped the airplane, and then just instant 10 tap jug spike. He's such a that guy's a master at taps and juggles.
He's so good
He's
at
so
taps,
comfortable at juggling the spike. It's just like second nature to him, where he doesn't even think about it. It's just so natural to him, and you can really tell that with his fast hands at the end because the speed we talked about speed. The speed that he was doing the fast hands, the juggles, the fast hand transitions, stun playing, down fast. He had another one in there too. The speed at which he was transitioning between all three of those really just reflects how comfortable he is with the juggles, because it's one thing to do those all in a row, but it's another thing to do those all in a row fast when it's counting down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and he's just so comfortable up there. And I mean, he snapped, and for him to get the W, I mean, that's that's so cool. He really did. He deserved it. He deserved it.
For sure.
He really did well in the first, not only the first round, but he went even hard in the second round. So I thought that was a great match. And
he had
what an amazing final for a CKO.
Yeah. I was excited. I mean, I knew. For a second, I thought I won because I was the green flag the entire time until the finals. They gave me red, and I was like, okay. And so they raised green. I looked at my flag. I was like, oh. I was like, I knew I had. I knew I kind of had him. I was like, oh wait, nope. But I always think too. Oh, maybe in those close matches, when I know it's close, I'm just thinking. I always just think I probably edged him out, like in the moment. But then I'm like thinking as I go back, if it was that close, then I totally understand why I lost. Like it can't be that close,
Yeah.
It can't. But
if it's really close and you lose, it's not like you can.
You just got to do more,
You just got to do more,
Yeah.
I was going to ask you what your kind of thoughts were to that. So
to be honest, you could see my reaction. I was pretty excited up there just for him. I was like, it was a great final. I was so happy that we both did well. And I mean, he literally did like 4-tap jug house in again, 4-tap jug lean house.
Yep, that was huge.
And then from there, he did the 10-tap.
I think that's what got him the win.
And I was just
because all that in a row. I was like,
he literally was like, yeah, if I didn't get that 10 tap, I would have definitely lost. I was like, yeah, I know,
100%.
but you hit the 10 tap and it was crazy. He literally, when I saw it happening, I was like, no, because he's literally rising up. You can watch it in the video.
So much time.
It's like
So
1, 2, 3, like literally going up here to 10, and I'm just like, how is that even possible?
It looks like a piece of cake for this dude. Like it looks like an actual piece of cake. It does not get cleaner than that because exactly, rising up with it, and he has so much time. He just juggles the spike like nothing.
I was just like, dang, that's crazy. There's no way. And then he just kept snapping into the last. He literally almost copied my ender. He did the jug down spike fast hand, went for the stun plate fast. It fell out of the spike. But I was thinking, oh my god.
Oh, he missed it at the end?
Yeah, he missed it at the end.
I thought it went in. I was like,
no.
That's
Yeah.
But he did do 2 fast hands before that.
Yeah. So, he was doing really well. It was good. It was good. I really wanted to win just because, I mean, I knew I had to place. I knew even though that there wasn't many superstar players at this event, I still knew there was Qingyang
for sure,
and I still knew there was Tominari. So I was like, okay, you still have to be really good to win this because these 2 players are super good.
Yeah.
And so, playing Tominari in the final, I was like, okay, obviously it's got to be one of us. And then I thought I was gonna edge him out, but we still ended up. CKO actually was really cool this year. They actually really offered generous prize money for the winners.
How much?
So I think in US dollar it was $700 for first place of freestyle.
Wow.
Yeah, it was good. And for second place, $200.
Okay.
Yeah, $200 for me.
Like 100 probably.
Maybe 100, maybe a little less.
Yeah.
In US. Marcus Lander got third. So
let's go.
Yeah, Marcus Lander from Lotus got third, representing Denmark. I was really happy for him. And so that was the first day. I was like, dang, I really wanted to win something here at CKO. I feel like I've gotten second place a lot this year, just 3 times. But I was like, dang, another second place. Why can't I just win one this year? But still, I knew I still the next day. I knew I still had this KDVC run, and I had practiced it, and I was confident. I was like, okay, I can do this, and I'm gonna hit it on stage tomorrow. So I go home. The event ends after that. So freestyle, we just get prizes. So Tominari gets a trophy. I walk back to my hotel with my new Kendamas, whatever.
Yeah.
And next day happens. We're up. I actually went a little not really late, just because my time I was literally last to go for finals because I had the highest prelim. They did it so they just went opposite of the prelim list, just like how KDBC used to go. So I finished first in prelim, so that means they lasted the entire day. So I was like, okay, I can afford to get there a little late, take my time, rest up, go work out in the morning, come back, shower up, get ready. So I took my time. I got there around 11:30. The event started at 10. 11:30, 12, I showed up. And I started watching people, of course. There's not actually one thing I will say about this venue, not as much space to play as I'd like to practice. You could do it on the corner of the stage, but it was bearable. But not the best place to practice openly because obviously the whole room is filled with seats. So great for spectators, but for people who are practicing, trying to get honed in, they want to go to finals, can be improved. But anyway, so I'm just waiting, right? I mean, Tominari is second to last. I see Qing Yang. Obviously, full marks are really, really cool. Full marks is something that secures you such top places.
Yeah, and so people are going, and so you're going last.
Yeah.
You're going last. So how many hours is that transpiring?
Well, I mean, to be honest, it wasn't me just I'm freaking out, I'm practicing every single run. It's it'd be tough. It was definitely once they started, it was a 4-hour difference. Okay. Yeah, so they had mini games in there after every group, so it took a little time, but it actually went faster than I thought. I thought they were going to be late. They sped up. Anyways, so I saw Qing Yang go third to last, I think. Yeah, third to last because she got third place prelims, and she hit her full marks. She just did a bunch of super easy, I won't say super easy tricks, but for her, super easy tricks. And she ended up getting 1100 flat, maybe no. Yeah, 1100 flat, maybe. Low at 1100s.
And did you talk to her about that strategy going into it? Because I'm sure when you're seeing her do her run, all these easy tricks for her, it's okay, well, what's the play here?
She realistically, I didn't actually talk to her that much about the run. I didn't even watch her run, to be honest. I was just doing mine. But I had noticed she'd finish it, and I was like, oh, nice. That's good. That's good work.
Early.
Actually, not as early as I thought. Maybe with 8 seconds left.
Oh, okay.
But
cool.
yeah. So she still got it and stuff. But she was super comfortable with it. So yeah. And then I was like, oh, wow, you just full mark. That means I have to get every trick but one to beat you. So to still beat you
because your full run was
I knew her point total. I just didn't know what she was how her run was structured. So I calculated mine. I was like, okay, if I still miss one and I don't get full marks, I still beat her. So that'll be cool. I'll at least get first or second because I'm pretty confident with my run. So then I watched Tominari go, and he just got really nervous. I don't know what happened. I saw a little bit in the prelims watching him because he missed a trick, and I was like, oh, that's a little weird. Because he was going for the highest run of the day. He was going for 15. And I just thought, okay, well, if he hits this, great job to him. That's just utmost respect. Fortunately, he got a little nervous, got maybe 1,000. I think, so 1,000 something. I thought, oh, okay. Now I'm going last. I just saw Qing Yang, Tominari hit their runs, and I was like, I can totally win. I've been full marking my run all day.
So you're fully confident. You're fully confident going into that final run.
I mean, don't get me wrong. On the day of, not every trick was super perfect for me because I swear my Dama just changed that day. Okay, I woke up and I was just thinking, I literally was like, oh, do I use this one that I've been practicing this entire week plus with, or should I switch to this one because I just don't. This one today just is feeling weird for birds and stuff. It's just for the night. There's a round stall not off, and I was just thinking, what is happening? It's such an easy trick for me, but also the element handle stall just needs to be improved. I swear, it's just not. I still made it happen, but. Yeah. Anyway, I was
handle stall isn't optimized.
It's not optimized. But I was using a Dow. It was, anyway, I was using a Dow that I had got at EKC. Raptor Clear. I was like, cool, good setup, feeling good. I'm gonna go do my thing. Even though my setup isn't perfect and I don't feel like 1,000% confident I can hit all these tricks first try. My run, that's okay because I've literally hit my tricks all day, so it's gonna be fine. And then, yeah, I think I missed my second trick twice, double whirlwind, because it like toilet bowled off the spike. And then I missed swing spike, and then I got it third try. And after that, I swear I first tried everything up until, like practically everything up until the final like last 4 tricks. I actually ended up forgetting my order because
Happens to the best of us, bro.
I swear, man. Well, here's why it happened to me.
Usually, rarely actually. It barely ever
that's
happens.
actually never happened to me until now.
Yeah.
But it happens to people. I forgot my order because I was actually just wanted to confirm it because I walked up there with it and I noticed like 5 people before my match, or okay, a little earlier than that, but my order was actually wrong because I placed it wrong, and I was like, oh,
what?
I was like, oh, well, shoot, I have to do it a different order now, and yeah, also. Yeah, I honestly screwed up a lot.
So you just placed the
I'm not
tricks
gonna
wrong.
lie, I screwed up a lot for that event. One, I didn't practice all the tricks correctly, so I had to relearn the tricks like 1 or 2 the day before, like the in on stuff, and then like the round stall. I thought it was just like regular round stall, like big cup, nod, small cup, nod, base cup, nod. But it was actually just like here, over valley, straight drop to here.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, shoot, I have to like do it like that.
Yeah.
Okay. And I literally had to practice that the day of, but I was still fine.
So the due diligence to this comp could have been improved.
It could have been for sure improved.
Yeah,
Because
100%.
sometimes I would look at all the tricks, right? But I would be like, oh, round stall not off? I know what that is. I'm going to skip it and just look because I'm impatient. Like I just want to go to the next trick. It says in the description, round stall not off, flip in. Oh, it's in the first guy pulls up, bird, not off bird. I'm like, okay, whatever. I should have just watched the whole trick because you don't really know until you see it on video for sure. So a couple mess ups from me. And then on Lunar Rising
watch the full trick.
On Lunar Rising Dragon, I was just going straight in. It was actually flip in. I was like, dude, great. I love flip in from like. So, anyway, yeah, my practice wasn't as, as good as it could have been.
Yeah.
But
could have taken more.
And then also I messed up. Yeah, and then I also messed up my order because we actually had to do it super fast. They were like, okay, we got to get it done now. We got to get out of here. And I was like, dang, okay.
Like from the time they gave you the trick sheets to submit?
Yeah. So I had to deal with that, and I was like, dang, why is everything going wrong? But I was like, okay, I memorized my new run. Let's do this. It's just a couple of tricks. They're just easy tricks. And then I had to check just in case because I was like thinking, I don't want to skip and just not get any of these tricks.
Right.
So I wasted like 5 seconds ago. I was like, wait, what is it again? And then I came back, and then I ended up getting stuck on, the around stall. Like, because for some reason, I just kept missing it for a couple times, and if you miss it, it's like cool. I know it's not that hard, but it takes time.
For sure, it takes time.
I did a round clock, I think first try, and I was like, yes, okay, 1 time-consuming trick done, first tee, let's go, clutched it, and now I got to do a round stall, and then my last trick 1, 2, 3 still flip. Actually, not my last trick because I skipped in the middle. Lunar Rising Dragon. I want to do that last because it's such a good buzzer beater trick. It's super easy, and I was like, oh, money, I'll just do it at the end. So I did the skip rule. So I was like, okay, round stall not off, and I spent I swear, probably 20 seconds on that, and I was like, oh, this is getting really, really sketchy because this never happens, and I've got to really clutch up here. So when I got both the birds, I was like, oh my god, I really have to get this handle stall, or else I'm actually gonna have to skip this trick. And then I was like, and I got it. I was like, yes, dude, it's so clutch.
Okay, so you clutched that because how many seconds were left at that point?
Not many.
Okay.
Not
sub 30?
Sub 20.
Oh, no.
It was bad. Because at 1, 2, 3 still flip, I was like, okay.
Yeah, because still you have 2 tricks left after that.
Yeah. Because I was like, okay, I have to first try 1, 2, 3 still flip, and then I have to get it. And I was like, okay, I've been doing this all my run all day. I can do it.
Yeah,
and I get to 1 still flip, 2 still flip, falls off, and I was like, oh my. I was like, really? What's going on? And then I look at the clock. I'm like, here we go again. I've been in this situation 3 times now. We're at the buzzer beater. It's like 3, 2, 1. I'm like, here we go. 1 turn still. I'm just like,
it's like the hypest moment of the
for me, because I'm just thinking, dang, I really put myself in this situation again.
So you get in all these tricks, and before this, you actually were telling me, you're practicing hey, I just got my run 10 times in a row. Your full mark's 1,400 point run.
Yeah,
got it. So you're feeling really confident. So you're going into this event you're dialed. Obviously not as dialed as you once thought because of the tricks. You don't know how to do
a little bit of hiccups.
A little bit of hiccups there. Yeah. The setup on the day of didn't really feel as dialed, but you're feeling confident going into this run.
Definitely.
So now you're facing a situation where, okay, things are going a little wrong. I'm missing a trick that I usually get first try around stall. 5, 4, 3, 2, and you just said that, okay, you knew going in, I can still miss 1 trick in full mark and still win. And so here you are. Your buzzer beater attempt is your second to last trick, so you're not going to get full marks.
Yeah.
The best you can do is get all your tricks except for one, and you know that in this moment that if you don't make this,
Qingyang wins.
Qingyang's going to win. So you knew that.
Oh, I was actually thinking about it after I pulled the one turn still. I was like, you know what? If I miss this, then Qingyang will win. And I'm not gonna lie, I'd be super happy for her. I'd be like, you know, you shut up and you did full marks, and that's really good, and you just end up beating everybody. I'm really proud of you. But I was thinking, no, like, I was also thinking, of course, I want to win too. Like, everybody wanted to.
You pull up one turn still, you're like, it wouldn't be that bad. No, what the heck am I saying? I gotta lace this.
Yeah. I was just thinking, well, of course, like, I want to win too. So I look at the crowd. I actually take my eyes off the still. I never do this, but
yeah, that was actually sketchy.
I never do
this.
I never do this, but I was just like, okay, it's locked. It's like I was like, I was looking at the crowd because for me, it was like third time trying to do a buzzer beater because I tried attempt 1 last year KDBC, attempt 2 this year KDBC, missed both. Last tricks of my run, by the way, and then this year I have a buzzer beater again, but it's actually my second to last trick. So no full marks again. I get really bummed because I still have never full marked anything. I really want to do that. And so
difficult, yeah.
It's difficult, yeah. So this time I was like, okay, never buzzer beater in my life. Can't get the full marks this time, but I really like to do that this time. Buzzer beater. At least get one of those out of the way. And so I actually remember taking a couple good deep breaths in through my nose, out through my nose, and I was like, okay, like I can get a good chance of this trick because single doubles are easy. Like,
yeah,
first single, okay, good. Deep breath, double, just regular double. Just gotta get it on there. And I could tell, like, my and to be honest, I think I was like, I don't shake, but I didn't shake in that final moment either, but I think I was shaking a little bit. Like, just something, not, just such a tad somewhere at CKO. I think maybe I was excited in the freestyle too. Maybe sometimes like I was on lunar and I was like, oh, like just a tad because I was about to flip to something, and I think I was just excited, like using the nerves and the just the vibe of the event, just something was happening. So I was like, oh, it's getting really loud and stuff, and maybe that happened on some of the stalls too. Maybe the round, I can't remember, but I know I wasn't super like, fully dialed.
So you felt a little bit of.
So, because I remember there being some some discrepancy there.
Wow.
I'm like, oh, well, that.
Okay.
But I mean, it wasn't obviously bad because I was able to recover.
It's not surprising either, too. I mean, although what we just said, you have all that stakes. Everybody knows it too, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big moment. You know?
Yeah. But I want to do still flip. I mean, that's my trick.
Sure.
I gotta hit it. So I was really, really wanting to in that moment to fulfill and just to live up to the hype, I guess, in a sense, because like everyone knows that's my trick. Everyone knows I can do it. So I was like, okay, one still, double. I was like, okay, it's on. Thank God. Like, yeah, thank God I have actually a good chance at the triple here. Like, I didn't lose early. Like, I got an easy point. Thank you. I adjust. One more little breath. Just triple still, locked. And by the way, everyone went silent. I did one turn still. Everyone's like, come on, Nick, let's go. Well, I look at the crowd. I'm like, oh, man, like, I got to do this again. Like, this is entertaining, but I have to do this. And then they're like, okay, everyone, like, shut up. And they all go quiet. Like, nobody says a word. You can't even hear anybody breathe in that whole room as I do my 1-2 still flip. I click the last triple, and I'm like, bang. And then I just go in the same motion, flip in, lace it. Everyone just goes nuts. And it was just like, for me, it was like...
So you didn't come back up and reset?
No. I just felt the flow.
You usually don't do that.
I felt the flow. I was like, no, this is the way.
Okay.
Like, this is the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I usually take breaks, but I was like, perfect. I was like, oh, perfect triple still flip. I'm down here, bend up for the win, just like casual flip in. So glad to have gotten that last spike and clutch, honestly. Like, really clutch moment. Everyone thought it was full marks. I knew it wasn't. So I was like, but happy to win. But I was like, couldn't get it again this year.
How did that feel though? To actually, you were saying you missed the buzzer beater final trick in 2023 KWC final run. You missed this year on a trick that's
so annoying.
Yeah, I'm sorry to bring that up, but you did miss a trick that was pretty.
Everyone always laughs. So like they're like, how did you miss on the lunar? I'm like, I don't know.
The lunar.
I really don't know the.
But
after clear.
Just kidding. No, I don't know how you missed on the lunar. Let's be honest.
But it was tough.
But how did that feel? You coming into this event with high expectations, struggling a little bit, but pulling through in the end and clutching the win.
Yeah, it was
just a huge deal.
Yeah. It was really cool for me to do that because I feel like, as I said, I've gotten a lot of seconds this year, and I feel like I've come up short a lot in all the competitions I've been competing in, just in some way, shape, or form. It's like, I couldn't pull through right there. What the heck?
Mm-hmm.
I needed a little more. I just need a little more. I just need a little more.
Yeah.
And then from there, at that point, I was like, dang, this is like my time. Like, I really just need to compose myself because I knew in that moment, I was like, okay, I clearly haven't been as super composed as I usually am all day. Like, I need to breathe. And I was like, okay, I can do this. I mean, I know myself, my practice, and not only with stilts, but my run. I was like, okay, I've been able to do this every single time. Not once have I missed my run. I mean, I've barely ever missed my run, and then it's 2 tricks. It's always either 1 or 0. So I was thinking, okay, like I know, like my confidence comes from just my preparation. And I just thought, and also stilts have been my favorite trick for like 7 years. So that, why not? So I just took a couple deep breaths. I took my time. I looked at the crowd. You don't have to do that, but I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I look back, I'm like, okay, this is my trick. So I just composed myself, took my time, and felt the flow. I didn't really force anything. I just knew what I'd flip, reset, adjust, flip, ride the wave for the last in, and just go for it.
Yeah.
It felt really good. It felt really good to follow through and end up winning that one. I didn't get full marks. I was going for 1,400 points, 14 something, 1420, I think. And bummed to have not got that and come out with a score I'm super proud of, but still to show up and
still win.
I thought,
you know what? China Kendama Open
still did enough to win. Still put in the practice. Still the hard work paid off. And I was thinking,
do you think you would have clutched and been able to do that if you didn't practice?
Oh no, for sure not. No, you always need to. You can't fake KWC runs.
Yeah.
You literally cannot. People show up in no practice, they don't get the result they want.
Right.
I mean, that's happened to a lot of people, a lot of times over.
Yeah.
Because they just didn't practice enough. They know it. They know it.
And even if you do practice a lot, it doesn't guarantee any specific result.
No, not at all. Yeah. I mean, I've practiced a lot for KWC runs, and like I said, I haven't full marked one yet ever since they implemented the rule. So, still got some work to do there with expectation, or just with expectations or planning. But
yeah.
Anyway, it was really, really a proud moment for me. It was also just like, even though it wasn't full marks, it was still epic. Like, it just was a really memorable moment.
Yeah.
People are going to remember that for a long time, and so am I. Like, that was just epic. Last run of the day, last seconds of the whole entire day of the competition, clutches it for the win. It's like,
yeah, and it's on your trick too. I mean, if you did that on Rising Dragon, it would have been like, it just would have been less hype.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, here he is, But that's 1, 2, 3 stilt flip. Nick Gallagher's specialty is stilts.
Yeah.
Everybody, it's so funny because you pull up the stilt, you go for it, and then I think probably Medic, he was like, let him cook.
Someone
said that. I was like, no, that's actually funny, so it might mess him up.
Yeah, I don't know if I heard it in the moment.
Oh, yeah. On the replay, I was like,
it's so easy to hear.
Yeah. But everybody hugged you afterwards. You got, you do the celebration, and you go like this, and then you get, just people storm the stage, and it was.
I was more so just relieved. Cool. You could tell I was relieved. I was like, thank God, I at least got that. Because in my head, I was like, not full marks, so I couldn't be super stoked.
Yeah,
but I knew I won, so I was just thinking, yes.
Yeah, it turned out beautifully.
It turned out beautifully. So next time I'm coming for the full marks, but
for sure.
Yeah. It was good. It was good.
And I'm watching the replays of these events, and I'm waking up to my phone. I'm like, yes, Nick won. Let's go. Yeah. Such a cool thing.
Yeah,
so
I'll say the placements too before I forget.
Yeah,
so
we definitely need to go over that.
Yeah. So I won with 1190. So that's without the last trick and full marks bonus. Got 1190 there plus prelim. So 1100 flat without prelim because I add the 90. So did that. I think Ching Yang got second. Yeah, Ching Yang got second, of course. Full march or run. Did like 1100 flat, maybe. I'm pretty sure. And then I think, Tominari got third. Tominari, of course, got third. He's clearly that top 3 is pretty solidified. I'd say at that event.
The three best players at the event.
Probably
the 3 most skilled players at the event for sure.
Yeah. Tominari got like 1,000. So, overall, everyone got over a K, over 1,000 points. And as for, we all got Kendamas. I got this huge trophy. I actually left at little Jasper's house in Hong Kong. I just gave it to him. I'm traveling this whole entire time. I can't really carry that much luggage. So, I got a ton of these Kendamas, and then I also got huge cash prize, $1,400 from China Kendama Open, Hanrui sponsoring the event. That reminds me, I think freestyle was actually 300.
Okay.
Because I know I walked away with 1,700 in total from just prize money. So that probably was. So that was huge to win that one. I really wanted to win that one, obviously, to not only win, but the cash is a nice incentive. And Qing Yang got
like 10 something, 10, 20.
What?
Oh, points.
No, for cash. I mean, she barely got maybe like half that, maybe a little less. But anyway, got pretty small, like $500, maybe 230 bucks. Anyway, so they just had huge prizes for like cash prizes for both. So freestyle was 700, KDBC was double that, 14.
Yeah.
So glad to have walked away with
some
little cash there with that.
Yeah. So obviously it always feels good to win that amount of money. It's great. I mean, you fly to that comp, all this stuff, fees. You basically get all of it waived, and you get way more from winning. So massive incentive to win. I want to talk about really quick Tominari and Xingyang, just for those people who may not know who these players are, and we've been talking about them the entire podcast, and some people listening may not even know who we're talking about, especially when we're talking about Tominari. I feel like he's very much slept on in terms of popularity. I feel like most people may know Xingyang, but Tominari is more of a less known player in Kendama. So who is Tominari? Like we know where he's from, but why should people follow him? You know.
So what's Tominari is 15 years old. He's a Japanese player. He lived in Hong Kong mostly throughout his life so far, but then he's actually in Kyoto right now to study in Japan. So he's going to school there right now, and he is currently one of the up and coming new generation players. I mean, he's really, really amazing at Kendama. He got 9th place at KDBC this year. He's a really great competitor already. He's improved so quickly, so insanely fast. I mean, he's only been playing for literally like I think Qing Yang first met him a little over 2 years ago. I mean, he's actually just ridiculous. I don't know how long he's been playing, but it hasn't
been 5 years.
Oh yeah, like what? I think he's actually been less than 5 years. I could be wrong. He could be at 5 years, but I know Qing Yang met him 2-something years ago, I think. So I'm just saying he hasn't been playing that long. Not as long as me. I've been playing for over 12 and a half.
Yeah.
So he's really just one of the best tappers out there right now. Like clearly one of the best. He's gotten 20. He's also gotten like 29 turntable. He did 10 turntable in the finals.
Yeah.
At KDBC, he's really unlocked with both those tricks that are super popular right now. And he's just overall really an up-and-coming player that's just aspiring to become the best. He wants to become the best. He's friends with Ryoga Maharu. He had them on FaceTime there like a couple times.
Nice.
Yeah, he was FaceTiming them while like watching me do my prelim. I was just like, oh, hey guys. But like I said, you know, he's sponsored by Wuda in Hong Kong. Just a Kendama shop. They just sell Kendamas, and I'm sure he just gets to pick whatever he wants. And X amount of times per month. I'm not sure, but he gets support from them, and he's really, really passionate about Kendama. He's just really, really on it. He's posting a lot. His Instagram is maybe Tomonari.
And he got in the top 10 at KFC, right?
Yeah, 9th. Yeah, 9th.
Beast.
Yeah.
Absolute beast.
Yeah, so, I mean, you definitely, if you don't know him, now you know, and you should watch because he's super insane at the new gen style. I mean, he's one of the next generation players. I just made me realize, generations are changing for sure. I mean, he's on the come up, and after meeting him, actually making a personal connection with him, and his dad was there too. It was nice to talk to him. I'm really supporting this kid, and I think he has what it takes to become actually one of the best players in the world. I actually truly mean that.
100%. Yeah. You see the trajectory of him, and especially if you just said he hasn't even played for 5 years yet. That is incredible to me.
He's only 15, so he's got a huge path in front of him. But
we'll link Tominari and Xingyang's Instagrams in the description as well. So that's amazing to hear about Tominari. I want to see more of him, and he was just put on my radar this year, and to see him at KFC, I was like, okay, this kid is really good. I thought he was like a man because he's actually 6 feet tall, but he's only 15. So for Xingyang, definitely more popular. But you spend a lot of time with Xingyang. We were in Hong Kong for about a week, and we were with Xingyang every single day, pretty much. You were able to hang out with the Hong Kong squad this trip, and you're in China, and then a little bit after as well. Xingyang, give us a quick bio on her. What you've come to notice about her in the past month as a player.
Xingyang. So Xingyang is one of the top girl players in the whole world. She won Kendama World Championships 2024 girl division this year. Full marks again at KBC, 1,000+ points. Just beat everybody. So first place there. And she has really, really just only gotten better and better and better and better ever since she's started playing Kendama. And I mean, truly just by leaps and bounds. She's not only progressing just like, oh yeah, of course you're getting better just by playing. No, like she's jumping. Like she's making huge leaps and taking a lot of steps forward. I've really taken a notice to that. We both took a notice to that this time. We were both in Hong Kong together with her. We just thought, wow, she's really something else now. You know, not only super consistent with her taps. I mean, she could 10 tap, pretty consistently in front of people now. I think that's huge testament to her ability. And then not only her gunslinger is her best trick. She's just so insane at those, best form. But just her love and passion for Kendama. She loves to play with other people. She always travels for it to Japan. She's really good friends with Ren on Seoul. She loves her Hong Kong squad. She absolutely loves them. You can tell she's always sharing everybody's stories in Hong Kong, always jamming together. She's really, really about her local team, her local squad. And then, so she's been playing for about, I'm going to say 7-8 years. I first met her 5 years ago at CKO 2019. And back then she was a good girl player, but now it's like she's a legend. She's practically a legend in the game. I mean, in my opinion, she's already super known. Known. She's getting a lot more well known as the years go by, but right now she's super known, especially in Asia. Everybody knows her, and I'd say a lot of the world knows her at this point. She's been to EKC, KWC. She's been to almost all the international events except for biggest ones in America, BATB. So she'll make it out to that at some point. But she established a presence, and then she's gotten insanely good. She's been playing for 7-8 years. Pretty a veteran at this point compared to many.
And you met her at CKO last time you went.
Yeah, 2019. Yeah, back then she was just a normal player, but clearly evolved into something special. Yeah. And now, she has her own shop, 2000s Kendama shop. Go look it up on Instagram. It's just literally 2000s, like the year, with an S and then _Kendama_shop. She made her own shape. She sells in Hong Kong. She wholesales to a lot of different companies as well, of course, but she's actually made a really wonderful shape. Obviously something that prioritizes gunslingers, but the new one that she's going to drop soon-ish is very, very good overall. She uses it to compete for everything.
Right.
She does all her tap tricks on it, all of her gunslingers, even lunars can lunar pretty well. I have 2 of the Kens actually, 2 Maple ones, and they're solid. So yeah, we've had the pleasure of trying a couple, and we both really like it. And I just think it's cool that she's just putting a lot of this effort into Kendama. She knows herself, like these are her best years to play. Like, so she doesn't want to stop. Like, she wants to put everything she has.
She's conscious about that.
Yeah. She knows like these are her best years. She knows like all the opportunities are going to come right now. There's going to be the biggest opportunities for her to do well at competitions, go to competitions at her current age right now. She's 19. So she's doing everything in her ability to get as many places as possible. And she's made a lot of friends along the way. It just goes to show, even if you don't communicate the same language, as long as you have Kendama, you can make really strong connections. And yeah, she's gotten so good that she's been able to connect with a lot of people.
That is so respectable. I think that's a huge testament to her. Everything you just said, she has her own shop. She's going to all these international comps. She's from Hong Kong. She's going to KWC. She's going to Europe. All these things, and like you said, she's really making an effort to get up to all these competitions in Asia and beyond with having her own shop. I just said the same thing. But her being conscious of her, these are her best years to play, and her really leaning in to that, to this intense care of Kendama, this super, super high prioritization. Not a lot of people are doing that.
No.
Not a lot of people are doing that, and not a few players are caring about Kendama and reflecting it in that way, like she is. So, big shout out to her. It's her passion and love for the game is so easily felt when you're there with her in person. It's amazing. I really respect her a lot. Yeah. So if you have Instagram, go follow her. If you don't follow her already, it's her Instagram name is definitely 04ching_young. We'll link it in the description, and she's amazing. She's absolutely amazing. She's has a lot of potential to be one of the best players in the entire world.
Yeah, just blatantly one of the best in the world.
Not even female, male.
Exceeds that. Yeah. Right now is where it stands. To me, she's top 2.
Yeah.
Nonoka and her are top 2 girl players in the world for me.
Yeah. I
think Xingyang just has more potential right now because she's just riding the wave more. I think just
she's playing more. Probably.
She's on it a lot more.
Nonoka plays a lot, but I think Qingyang's probably playing more, and then she's getting. Yeah, she's in a time period of life.
Clearly, Qingyang is executing in competition right now. She's doing well, so she's riding this wave, and yeah, I'm really excited to see her evolve and keep getting better and better and better. She also does a couple Kendama classes, sometimes here and there, as well, to teach other kids in her local community. So I think it's really admirable as well. She's just really about Kendama, and so it's really nice to have someone like that in Hong Kong.
100%.
Yeah.
Shout out to, they're really pushing and like I said, like we said, Qingyang doesn't matter. Like, she's the potential to be one of the best players, period, in the world, period. Just like how Nonoka is, and Qingyang's definitely up there in that pro category already, anyways. But we're talking about the upper echelon of players here, and really just shout out to the girls of Kendama in Asia, because they're really pushing the game.
So good.
They're better than 98% of players, really. They're better than 98%. Them too, Noah, or a couple other girls in Asia who are ridiculous, and there's a girl in Poland, Zuzia, who's insanely good too. So
crazy.
It doesn't matter what gender you are, you can still be an absolute beast at Kendama, and we've seen it proven time and time and time again. So if girls are listening to this, I don't know how
check out some motivation.
Get some motivation, because these girls are actually kicking, just destroying the competition at the highest level. So it's really inspiring.
They're huge.
Keeping everybody on their toes.
Yeah.
So I wanna segue here into I want to talk a little bit about your private session, how that went. If you want to if you don't want to talk about that, we can just go straight into.
No, it was a good experience for me as well. So this was they actually invited me out here to do this actually. So it wasn't only to, hey, come to attend the event and represent. Love to have you here. It was also, hey, can you do this workshop for us? We'd like to hold a class on the day after CKO. So I agreed to do that. Of course, if you're going to get me out there, I'll gladly do that for you. And so on Monday, we were actually at the office, the Honolulu office, not the factory, but they just have this office in the city. And it was nice to travel there. It was pretty cool lookout and everything like that. But yeah, we had 10 people come. It was just a full day of Kendama. Full day getting to connect with 10 players who showed up and wanted to, spend that day with me. They reserved their spot before the event started, and we got together after the event ended. From 10 to 5 p.m. we were just together. The first half, I know these players just want to play Kendama. Like, we obviously had time to introduce ourselves, tell us a little more about like what we're here to do, why we came, things like that. But I could tell these guys just really wanted to play Kendama with everyone in the group, get land tricks with me. So I kept it short on the talking, focused more on interactive practicing styles, and then after lunch, in the afternoon, lots of little mini games and just doubles tricks, pictures. These are huge. These are huge. These are super important.
Right.
Really important for me too to connect with these people, because I know by them showing up, they're some of my biggest supporters. So, giving time to them is really, really crucial for me as well. And I was actually really fortunate because it all worked out. I said I got all these Kendamas as prizes for first at KWC, or first at CKO main event, and then second in freestyle CKO. So I actually had enough prizes to give away to everybody, all 10 people. So if you came, you just get more stuff on top of the custom-made CKO Kendama for you, and pictures, doubles tricks, whatever you want to add in. These are all things that people walked away with, but most importantly, was just really glad to spend the time with these people. I challenged them in different ways to build their consistency, the basics in the first 2 hours. Had some fun with that, tested them a little bit with speed. And then in the afternoon, just did lots of consistency games. We did Dama Blitz, we did Pop, we did just another regular mini game. Wasn't anything special, but it was just all focused on consistency, just hitting the tricks. Who can miss the least? And so some people walked away with a couple prizes. I had a sumo there from Sweets, huge Kendama. I had some really good ones from all brands. I had Crom. I think I had also some winter Kendama there, cereal. So I had some good brands to give away, and people were just stoked. They at the end, as like I said, full day of Kendama. I think, like 7-8 hours. People were really excited about it, and they were overall really glad they came. And I was super glad to hear that, because I had a lot of fun that day, and like I said, I'm definitely just really, really grateful to be able to connect with players like that. I think that's one of the best things at a Kendama event that you can do. It's kind of hard nowadays at huge ones like CKO, like these bigger ones, nationals, of course, BTB, KDBC. There's so many people there, but it's so busy that not a lot of time to really sit down and talk. So I was really just so happy to do that with not only just a couple people, but 10 players the whole day. It was a good experience for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I feel like that's a rare opportunity that most events really have never had or presented for the attendees. So to have that opportunity to, especially in Asia where you're not going to China Kendama Open every single year. You're never in China. So for you to actually be there, you're way more experienced, way more years, way thousands of more hours than these players, right?
Yeah.
Who are coming to see you in your private session, to learn from you, and to connect with others as well who care at the same level of Kendama progression as they do themselves, and to get guidance from you and all of your experience. And that's massive. And so I think that's a very special opportunity. I thought that was such a cool thing that CKO really presented to you as an opportunity with, because I know that wasn't something that you were expecting. They kind of just brought that up like, hey, we're also thinking of doing this.
Yeah. It was definitely just a blessing. I'm way more inclined to go back to China next year for the CKO. I mean, they were so nice with the hospitality, and I was able to have dinner with the boss of Hanrui, and also go see the factory.
What's the significance of Hanrui?
So I'm sure a lot of people know, but I know there's a couple people who don't. Hanrui is the biggest Kendama manufacturer in the entire world. The factory is also pretty huge. I just went there the other day for the first time. I think that's a very rare experience, by the way, to go to Hanrui,
for sure.
to go to any Kendama factory in general. But so I was really grateful to go there first time, and ever since I started 12 years. So they make Kendamas for a lot of brands. Lotus, Kendama, Crom, Sweets. I saw so many brands in there, just everybody getting worked on. It was really, really cool. And I had to tour through the factory, how they were packaging, how they they have different tools to make the stuff. Saw some new things coming down the pipeline as well. And overall, Tom, the owner of it. They have a really good team there.
How many employees?
Man, I didn't count. I should have counted, but there's a lot more than Ozora Factory for sure. And I say that because I was really used to Ozora Factory, a little smaller. I lived 5 minutes away from it when I was living in Japan, so that's why
cool.
So that's why I compare. I went there a lot. Ozora Factory is definitely a little cleaner. It's obviously just a little smaller, so it's easier to keep clean. Also, I think it's just more of probably a Japanese thing to keep it tidy and whatnot. But the Hanrui was pretty big. It was a couple stories, 3 stories. It was they had like their whole painting room, and it was so funny to see Kendamas on there, like a Nonaka mod and like Johnny mod, and I was like, oh, good stuff. Like a lot of sweets there, like Target, Kendamas, everything. So it was a cool experience. So glad to have bonded with him, and then, like I said, man, like I left that event thinking, I want to come next year. Like I want to align the time to represent at CKO again.
Yeah.
Maybe help them out, do another workshop, see if we can make it better. Hopefully with my brother, hopefully with you, Zack, next time. They want both of us out there. So
I'd love to go.
I assume, we'll be back in Asia around this time next year. So why not?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And so for everybody listening, Nick's hanging out with the boss of that factory, which if you play Kendama, you own a Kendama that was made in that factory. There's a 99% chance. So no matter what brand you play. So that's pretty huge. What a cool opportunity. Amazing.
Yeah.
So you got to Hanrui, Ozora. What other factories are out there? Like the Okinawa factory and then the Craft Warehouse, right?
And Legasis.
Oh, that's right.
I haven't been there yet.
Oh, sick. Where is that? Where the Gloken is?
I think it's pretty close. I don't
even know the city.
I'm not gonna lie, I forgot.
Okay.
I forgot as well. Wow, it's blanking me right now, the city name. That sucks.
Yeah. So, okay.
I've been there too.
So your whole China trip, you go to Hong Kong first, stay a night there. You go to Shenzhen, you come back, you spend a night in Hong Kong, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I just want to know, can you share a story or moment from your trip that left a lasting impact on you, either personally or as a Kendama player in general?
Yeah, definitely. I'm really, really grateful for the Hong Kong players. I feel like we've made a really great connection. And we were there for spending a couple of days with them. They really appreciate it. We really appreciated them. Super just great bonding time. And then for me to go back and actually spend more time with them, connect with them at the competition, but also after, it was just really a nice feeling to be like, yep, like I've got a really true good group of friends, good group of players out here to come back to. It always, as another home base in this world, who I know is going to treat me right, and who also I know I'm going to have a lot of fun with playing Kendama. And yeah, I would say I'm really grateful to Jasper's family. They, hosted me this time again at their house, and even though it was only a couple nights, they really did everything for me. Drove me to the airport, drove me back, helped me go through transportation anywhere in Hong Kong. And Shenyang also helped me a lot too. So really, really big shout out to them. I'm really, really, happy to be on, have these good relationships with them. And I'm excited to see Jasper grow into a rising star for a Kendama player. He's really, really young right now. Shenyang, I'm obviously always supporting. I know she has good things happening in her future. So really, really stoked for that. And yeah, just thankful for the Hong Kong scene. I really like it when I'm able to show up and attend their jams. And I've been told that since we've come to Hong Kong, since we've left a lasting impression on some players, that making them really go a lot harder on Kendama. It's a really good feeling to hear that. Whether it be just with helping them through a couple different tricks, which I did for a lot of the Hong Kong players over the whole week, was just giving them basic tips on things and helping them work through something. It's a really good feeling in that as well. But to just be a good presence for them, a good light, maybe someone to look up to in some way, shape, or form, to aspire to be like, whether it be the skill, the personality, whatever it may be, just to be that good figure in their life, and to also have them, have that energy be reciprocated on my end as well. Just really glad that the connections are happening. I mean, everybody in the Hong Kong place, like, we all know we're good friends now. It's not just like, hey, so to meet you, like, you're the famous Nick Gallagher, like Zack Gallagher, the Gallagher twins. Can we get a picture? It's just like, no, we're friends now.
Yeah.
It's really cool to be able to say that.
Yeah, I had the same exact experience in Hong Kong. The hospitality, and just treated like family almost from the get go. And especially after a couple of days there, it's like, okay, this is the squad, super nice group of players. Really, they care for each other. They love Kendama, and it feels so nice to sesh with them, and it was amazing. So I definitely resonate with everything you just said. It was a great experice, and I'm happy that you were able to, make those bonds even stronger.
Deepen the
connections.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really thinking about doing, an event out there next year. Hong Kong would be insane. So, yeah, really trying to keep the ties close with China, Hong Kong, and just Asia's, man, I love Asia.
The energy of the communities are really, really good.
So good.
What was your impression of the, so you spent a week in China, go to CKO, hanging out with the boss of Honorary himself. What are your overall impressions of the Chinese Kendama community?
Yeah, definitely. Some really skilled players, to be honest. I wasn't expecting the average level to be as high as it was. I mean, don't get me wrong, lots of people who are intermediate as well, but people were consistent. People were a lot more consistent than I thought, like a lot more used to competition, I guess. Nobody was shaking out of their mind, of course, that I saw. I thought it was just going to be a lot worse. I thought, oh, okay, they're going to get up on stage and not know what to do. But people know what to do. Yeah. They've been attending CKO for a while, so they knew. But yeah, overall, just on a Kendama scene I'd like to spend more time with. I know Chinese Kendama players, I've heard that they don't really get out to other events. They don't really go overseas much. So that whether that may be KDBC or maybe somewhere in Hong Kong, they don't really go to events too much, I've heard. So I'd like to go to them sometime and hopefully encourage them in the future to come out to other events, because as of right now, they don't really know like what levels there are out there. They've never seen it in person, so I'd like for them to see more of the Kendama world, and yeah, I want to connect more with them as well. I actually got inspired to maybe learn Chinese as my third language in the future. If I had to choose one, I was like, if I choose one, the past would be Spanish. It's most applicable to me right now as a person living in the U.S. But future, it's like, what's going to help me better? Am I going to be in Asia, or who I have the strongest relationships right now? It's like Hong Kong, is it China? Like, what's going to work the best for me in the future? So, and that's something I want to pursue as well sometime. So, I think it might be Chinese. I think. Yeah. I don't want to confirm anything. It's
a plan. It's a seed in your mind.
It's a
seed has been planted
for sure. Yeah,
it's really cool.
Because that's the reason why I started learning Japanese too. Is because of the people. I just want to connect with people. That's all I want to do. And then, I guess the same thought is happening for China, or whether it be Hong Kong. But also, Hong Kong is actually not as much trouble because people speak English there, like to a decent degree. So,
but in China,
the level's pretty low. So it's Like, and same thing with that happened was in Japan too. I'm sure if everyone spoke English in Japan, I wouldn't have been as inclined to learn it.
Totally.
But for China, it's something different. I'm like bridging a gap I can't actually do right now because
Yeah.
I don't have the ability.
Yeah.
And so in order to bridge that gap, make stronger connections, what do I have to do? Well, push myself to learn the language. And now that I've done it once with the Japanese to get to a certain degree in that one, then I know I can do it again. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited.
You're almost coming up on 6 years of studying Japanese, right? Actually, you are. You are.
Soon, in about 4 months. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you started this time 6 years ago, but
No.
yeah, nice. That's so cool, dude. Yeah, that's really cool. I think that's inspiring and just you changed your life with Japanese. I mean, it's literally changed your life. So,
So I just thought,
inspiration.
like walking out of China, I was like, dang, people are really trying their best here to speak English to me, and it's working to a certain extent, but there's a lot of ground to cover. I'm just thinking, man, I can really bridge the gap. And I have a friend studying there right now. She's from Japan. Her name is Mari, and she's like there for a couple months studying, and now she also wants to learn Chinese. And I was like, oh, it's really cool. We might have to embark on this journey together because I'm kind of feeling inspired too. Not saying I'll do it right away, but when the time comes and I feel like it's a priority, like an actual priority on my list to actually solve, it'll happen. So.
Yeah, and plus with Mandarin, you can not only speak to people in China, but Taiwan as well, and people from Hong Kong, a lot of them know Cantonese and have a really good level of Mandarin
exactly,
too. So
exactly. So
you're getting a lot.
It's
basically
good.
almost the entirety.
Exactly.
Almost not the entirety of Asia, but you're getting a huge
China's
part.
China's for sure.
When
you include Hong Kong,
you
and
get most
Taiwan
of Asia.
too, you're understood.
Yeah,
you're understood for sure. And it's like
totally.
that's all you want to be. You want to be understood.
Yeah.
And then for China, it's just like this whole other world. Because seriously, like nobody speaks English there to a good level at all.
Yeah.
Like to it, I will say good level. Define good level as basic conversation or basic words or questions to respond like.
Yeah, Taiwan is rough too. Yeah.
Man, it was tough. So I was thinking,
good opportunity.
Great, a lot of potential here. So
that's awesome.
Excited for the future on that.
That's really cool. Yeah. Other than that, I mean, what are some? My final question really would just be, if you're to recommend people to go to China Kendama Open, what are like 3 reasons? What would be your main reason of why people should go?
Well, one, definitely to meet the China players. I mean, Chinese players, they don't really have, they don't really get out of the country much. That's what I've heard. I don't blame them. It's far away from a lot of the competitions. They're a little in their own world, and at least they have the CKO. But I would encourage people to go to CKO just because, it's that new experience. Meet new players that you'll literally never see if you don't go. Number 2, you get to practice. The level's getting higher. Obviously, there was me, Tomonari, Chinyang there. More Japanese players going next year for sure. It's got to be a higher and higher level event. You get to, just experience that high level competition. That's really pretty soon only going to be available in Asia to get the highest caliber competition you can possibly achieve. And then 3, I'd have to think. I'd say it's a good excuse to go to Asia, but also you're not only meeting Chinese players, but you're also meeting Hong Kong, hopefully Taiwan more in the future. I met a lot of Taiwanese players when I first went.
Macau.
5 years ago. But Macau, a couple players from Macau, the scene's growing down there. It's just really fun to get out of your comfort zone and attempt to go to a place where you never thought you'd really go. Because I know a lot of people are watching this and being like, who would actually go to China, or like at all, or who would actually, or I never thought of going to China, or I've never thought about traveling this far for an event. But man, it's really up there for an experience. You're gonna have the time of your life in so many different ways because you're gonna learn so much in such a little time. And so, and people are just, the hospitality is just incredible. Like Marcus came and he literally said it was a life-changing trip for him because he had never felt that well treated in his life. He's felt the hospitality was just so amazing. He was so comfortable from the get-go. Everyone was treating him like family. So Marcus comes from Denmark, again, on a whim, he came out and ended up changing his perspective, changing his life. He loves to be out in Asia now, and he wants to come back. As would I, if that was my first experience. So,
and that's coming from someone who's gone to a lot of U.S. events. He's
Yeah.
gone to practically every single European event.
Yeah.
That's someone
I mean,
who's gone to a
first time in
lot
Asia.
of events, and his first time in Asia, and he's
Yeah.
having that reaction at CKO.
To CKO, you'd think
huge.
KDBC, right? But no, like CKO, huge lasting impact on him. So I think that speaks for itself. If you have the opportunity to go in the future, I will be there, and hopefully to see you there as well.
Yeah. Perfect. Any final thoughts?
That's. I think I covered a lot. I'm really excited for next year. Excited for us to go next year.
Let's go.
Hope the opportunity arises.
Yeah.
And yeah, shout out to Asia players. Love you guys.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll leave everything down in the description. Thanks, Nick. You can hardly even tell that you woke up at 1:30 a.m. today, and it's now 8 p.m.
Man, it's tough. You know, I was coming in a little tired of this last one, but we had to get it done, and feeling good about the energy. I'm gonna have a nice little dinner, just a little one, and then hit the bed. Hopefully, we reset for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tackle this last part of the year
Let's go.
together finally again. Well,
Big things.
in home base.
Yeah, home base. Florida hasn't been this way in 6 months almost. So,
Yeah.
all right, guys, catch you in the next one. Leave a comment down below who you want to see us interview next or what should we talk about. See you guys soon.
Peace.